Hey guys, so I think I'm live. So today I'm going to show you guys how to create Glassmorphic, Neumorphic, and Claymorphic pages. So let me show you guys how that looks and what we're building. So this is what we're building. This is my code pen. Last time I showed you guys how to build this on my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how to build this Glassmorphic one, a Neumorphic one, and a Claymorphic one, and what the differences are. Let me just quickly make my post on Twitter that I've gone live. Just a second. Okay. This morning I was at 666. I was like, man, I hope that changes soon. Whether it goes down or up, I don't care. Okay, let's make a tweet and say that I'm going live. I already drafted it. Join me live now and code along to create Glassmorphic, Neumorphic. I need to create a space here and the new trend Claymorphic boxes. Okay, cool. Just tweeted that. I think, yep. Hopefully it shows the picture, not just the link. I think it just shows the link, but whatever. Okay, cool. And where are we? Over here. Hey everyone, hi. Thanks for joining. Okay, so this is what we are going to build, and I'm going to build it in CodePen because I just like that it's going to be showing it right away, and you can just go in and like start. So we just go to codepen.io, and let's just create a new one. So here, let me show you guys what it looks like close up. So cool, got it. I always minimize the JavaScript because I'm not learning JavaScript yet. Hey everyone. Okay, so when it looks like this, or let's do it like this. So when I was building it from my laptop, all of these circles that I made were a lot closer in. They were actually like right here, but this is a bigger screen, so it's shifted a little bit. So as I'm building this on Dennis's computer, I'm gonna have to like change the positioning and everything. Okay, so we're gonna start with this one. I'm gonna go back into CodePen. I'm gonna move the mic a little bit. It's in my way of the keyboard. Hi, Mom. My mom was on here. Jana. Okay. So let's go into codepen.io and let's create a new pen. And I'm going to right away minimize the JavaScript. We're not going to be using JavaScript in here. I always switch between using it like this or up and down, but awesome. I'm glad that you want to learn front end. Yeah, that's why Dennis wanted me to do the live streams on his channel, because he knows that a lot of you guys are learning mostly back end, but you guys want to learn front end, and I'm really simplifying it and trying to make it as easy as possible to understand, because I know that learning CSS can be pretty difficult. So okay, we're going to open up the HTML file. I'm going to hit Shift and the exclamation point and then Tab, and it gives me the boilerplate HTML information over here. So what we're going to do is create a div class of card. Actually, I'm going to call it Glassmorphic card so that we don't get confused with the other ones that we build. So this one is going to be Glassmorphic card. And we are going to use generators, but I'm going to explain to you how they work and how you can change them. Hi, Bob. So what we're going to do is, we're using a generator, but I'm actually going to show you guys how you can change all of this information over here to how you want it, and so for example, a backdrop filter blur, that's one of the main things, including the background color that makes the Glassmorphic card Glassmorphic. So the reason why is because this is pretty much transparent, and that's what you want out of here. So if we changed this to like red, so let's get rid of this. it's not going to look glassmorphic anymore. So that's the thing right here. So this is pretty much like a transparent. You can change the amount of transparency right here on this last digit. So if I go to 0.5, so half, it's going to be less transparent. So it's going to look more like a glossy color. So I'm going to go back, make it 0.25. You can even go even more transparent, 0.15, and that will look even more clear. I think 0.25 is a good one. And so again, when we move these circles in, you will see them over here. And okay, let's just start building it so that we can see what we're doing. Okay, let's go over here. So I'm not going to add the circles yet. I will add those later because I want you guys to see what's going on. Okay, I just saved it. It's untitled. I'll just say Glassmorphic 2. Okay, I already told some of you last time that I'm having a hard time with Dennis's keyboard because I'm used to using the laptop, the Mac, and he has this mechanical keyboard. Okay, so let me show you guys over here. I already have this link that is a CSS generator, a gradient generator. So I'm just gonna grab this gradient over here. And what we do is go, you can choose radial or linear. I'm going to choose linear. It's called cssgradient.io. I will link all of this after the stream is over. So you just go over here and click copy to clipboard. If you want to choose other colors, you just select them, or if you want to create your own, you just use this thing over here. You just slide it around. So you can go ahead and do that. Or like in the last stream I mentioned, there's a site called color.adobe and it creates the gradients for you as well. So I'm grabbing that, just minimize this, and I am going to add it. Dennis is back.
You want to go to your screen real quick?
Yeah.
It seems like the light's a little
too bright.
It actually seems like this. Here, let's change this.
It's too dark?
Yeah, I guess I don't know if that's going to help much.
What was wrong with the light?
It just seemed too bright, but it's fine.
I mean, should I just turn it off?
No, I'll just leave it. I think it's the white screens.
Oh, maybe. You're right. Yeah, I'm going to change the colors anyway. Last time I streamed, I turned this one off completely and it was better.
I'll join from my laptop, but your mom is in the chat.
Yeah, I said hi to her and to Dad. This was Dad's. There's my dad in the snow in his Russian t-shirt with my little sister. Okay, okay, so let me know if you guys want me to turn off the light or not, if that's better, because it seems a little bit too extreme. I'm going to turn it off. Dennis said it's better on, but okay, so we're going to go in here, and this is like the universal information. So I'm going to add in box sizing, border box. Man, this keyboard is really annoying. Sizing. I've noticed I make a lot more spelling mistakes on here because I'm used to VS Code.
Sorry, one more. Just zoom in a little bit.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's a little too zoomed out.
Yeah, that should be better.
Here, let's just move this over. Yeah. Let's do a little bit more.
Thank you. So now that it's zoom in, yeah, okay, now you can actually see the circles over here. See how like the difference here and how much better that looks with the hi, I've got more people here. So see what I mean with the whole like the transparency and the blur. We have a backdrop blur and it creates that effect that it looks like a glass box. So that's what we're going to be creating. I'm going to show you guys how to make these circles also, like these imperfect circles. They look more like blobs. Okay, so for the body, we are going to add that, what we just copied, which is that, that gradient. It always bothers me when it's not enough, when it's not perfectly aligned, but because it's always scrunched in and being different, like moves over. So I'm just not going to bother with that right now. And for the body, actually, no, let's start going into the card. Start creating it. I called it Glassmorphic. Morphic card. right? Isn't that what we called it? Glassmorphic card, yeah. And it's such a long name that you always have to double check that it's the correct spelling. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to right away start giving it a width and a height. I'm going to say width of, let's say 500 pixels for now, and height of like 400 pixels. And background color, I'm just going to do red for now, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so that's what it is right now. It looks pretty bad. I am going to change it to like 300 height and width to, let's do like, okay, it's still too big. It looks kind of extreme. Okay, let's do 500 width. 400 width. Okay, I think that's a pretty good size. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. We can change it eventually. So right now I'm not going to start making it pretty. We are going to position it so that we know what we're doing over here. So I noticed that this is the best way that I can learn is before styling it. I understand what's going on in the layout and I'm not like breaking anything. So, okay, we're going to go into the body and we're going to say display flex. This way we can position it in the center, and I'll say justify content center. And I'm also going to say align items center. So I'm probably going to have to add a height to this so that, yeah, so I'm going to add a height of 100 viewport height. There we go. So the items will not align if you don't set a height to it because it's aligning vertically. So we have to add a height to that. Okay, so now we can actually style this. So I'm going to delete this background color, and I'm going to go into that generator maker of the Glassmorphic website. So this is the generator. It's called hype4.academy tools Glassmorphism generator. So over here, we can control the amount of blur that we want in the background. You can see the circles back here, how much like blur you want. And what creates this blur is right here, the backdrop filter. So if you watch that, you can see that the color changes in the WebKit, but I took this part out because it seems unnecessary. You can leave it in if you want, but I was just more playing with what I can make instead of like adding this WebKit. So you can change that amount of blur, and then the transparency also. So like I said, the transparency, it will change the last number over here in this code line. So let's do it. Let's leave it like this. I think that's pretty good. And then the blur, I want to just be like subtle like that. So I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. So I'm going to copy this, and we are going to go back into our card in CodePen, and I'm going to paste that. So we just made our card. I'm just going to delete this because it seems unnecessary. Border radius of 10 pixels. We have a border as well, but it's pretty much see-through. And we have this box shadow. So the box shadow is what creates that little hover effect for us over here. And you can change these numbers over here to change the color. I'm just going to leave it this way. I think it looks fine. So what we are going to do now is we're pretty much done. This is basically what a Glassmorphic card looks like. Yeah, I'll be sharing the link to all of these things. Like I said, the Glassmorphic is actually, wait, I just realized I can just put it into the chat. Let me do that right now. So here is the gradient generator. And let me share the Glassmorphic generator, which is right here. There's other ones too. I just literally Googled up Glassmorphic generator, and these will come up. I think this was the first one that came up, and I really liked the design of it. But okay, I will Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, let's go back in here. So like I said, you created the Glassmorphic look, but what makes it more Glassmorphic, like I said, is creating those circles and something in the background. So what people will usually do is they will have like not just a gradient, but some kind of design behind the Glassmorphic. Like if you ever look up, Glassmorphic designs, they usually have something back there. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and create the circles. We're going to go outside of this div selection, and I'm going to create div class. So as you see, kind of shifted over because right now we're creating over here. So div class circle 1. Let's do like 3. I'm going to copy and paste. Oh, wait, I have to add the closing tag. Okay, so going to copy and paste that, and I'm going to go to 2 and then add the third one over here. Saving it. Okay, so let's go and select circle 1, and let's give it the height and the width. So I'm just going to say 100 pixels for now. Width of 100 pixels, and the border radius of 50 pixels. No, 50%, I think it was. We'll see what it looks like. And then background color, I'm just going to say red for now so that you guys can see it. Okay. So we see it right here. And what we're going to do is we have to add a position value to this right here. Hi, more people getting on. Hello. I'm just taking over for Dennis today and showing us some design tips. So we have to say position absolute for the card and Z. And so because the card, we positioned it as absolute, this went right behind it right away. And we're adding the Z index 1. So is it just automatically knowing? Oh, okay. Okay, Z index 1. And in here, we are saying position relative. And now we can start shifting it around where we want it. So let's say top like 50 pixels. I want to see where that puts it. Okay. So I want it to go to the upper left corner. So I'm going to say maybe top 5 pixels. Okay, I don't want it to move like that. No, yeah, I have my little someone asked if I have sheets. I have my little note over here that I did yesterday as I was building it. Right now I just didn't have it memorized what the position is for the card, so I had to check if it was absolute or relative for the card itself. But this was the only time I've looked at it so far. Okay, for the bottom I have, let's say 5 pixels. Okay, now I'm gonna start with the left first. What is Dennis? You should hide the bar on the bottom. Oh yeah, this is really annoying. Okay, so left, 50 pixels. Let's say -50. Why is it doing that? Okay, let's say -150. Okay, what did I click that it's like not letting me do that? Okay, -160 pixels. If I move it over, okay, it's sticking to it, nice. Okay, let's do -180 pixels. Okay, that's nice. And I'm gonna go from the bottom now and do like I do have everything written down again, but I want to insert. Oh, insert. Okay, thank you. That would be a lot better because that was really annoying. Like I said, I do have, because like I showed you guys earlier, I built this all out yesterday, and I can go in here, but I want to show you guys how, how I think and how I make it work basically. And yes, this will be available after. I'll have it posted up. Okay, so from the bottom, let's do like negative 150 pixels. Let's see if that goes where I want it to. No. 100. Okay, let's leave it there. So now I'm going to change the background color. So what I had is, so what I did over here is I actually took the same color as this background, the background of this whole thing, and I added it to the circles, but then I changed them up a little bit, like I played around with the numbers, and I made them more of a like pink bubbly look. So I'm going to do the same thing. So what I did is take this, all of this, and copy it into the circle. And then I just changed these numbers over here. So this is the transparency. It's at 100, I believe. So let's change this to like 150 and see what that does. So that made it more yellow. I don't want that. So I'm going to leave that at that color. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit darker so we can see it better. Actually, I'm going to leave it like this. That looks really cool. I think that looks really awesome. Okay. So let's leave that. And we can also start changing the radius of it. So 50% means if I just have it at just this number right here, that means all of the corners have changed to 50%. So if I change it to like 50, then like 80%, that means that this will be the top and bottom, and this will be the left and right. And if you just keep going, then it will be top, right, bottom, left. So we can do like 70 and then 60. And we just created like this almost blob type effect. And we can even make it bigger. I feel like it's a little bit too small. Yeah, that's a little bit too big. So let's go to 150 and 150. Whoops. Don't want that open. It's still a little bit too big, I think. Just change it to 130 and 130. So yeah, you can just play around with that. If you want perfect circles, you can have that. And you can change out these colors and make them to how you want them to be. So I'm going to do the same thing for circle 2 and circle 3. I could, I'm just going to copy paste this and add it 2 more times. And then I just have to switch out the positioning of them and the number that we're working on. So I'm going to slide up on this so we can see more of it. I'm going to change this to 2. As you can see, they're all like stacked next to each other now. Whoops. And now what I'm going to do is just switch this from left to right. And then this one I'm going to change from bottom to top. Okay, let's move it over. And this one shifted all the way out, so I want to change that. Let's change it to like 100. Okay, and then this one I want it to be over here to the right side. So I think that's circle 3. Let's change it to, oops. Let's change it to, I think, let's do right. And instead of that, let's do like 100. And let's make it smaller. 110, let's just do that. It's really hard to see once it's over here in the purple, so I think we want to change that gradient color too so that you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to make it more of a different shape so that they don't all look exactly the same. I feel like that makes it look a lot better. That almost looks, I don't know, looks interesting. Okay, so let's go into the gradient. I'm going to change this to like 202. So now we can see that color a lot better. And okay, yeah, I don't really like how that looks. So I'm going to change the styling a little bit more over here. Let's change maybe this to 50. Let's do like 55. And I want to make it even smaller. I just really want it to look different than the other ones. And let's change the color of this one also because it's a little bit too similar to the other one. I'm going to change it so it's right here. We can also change these. Let's play around with this. Whoops. So that just made the blue a lot brighter. And I'm going to change the size of it as well. So let's do like, we can even make it bigger than the other ones. So let's change it to like 170. Yeah, let's do that. And I'm going to change the size of it again. I mean, the different borders. No. I mean, you could do that. They look like little raindrops, but I think I'm going to do like 60. Actually, that looks pretty different enough. It almost looks like water droplets. I kind of like it. Now this little circle is out of it, but I'm just going to leave it. So that's the Glassmorphic card. Thank you. Okay. And we could add text like I did over there. So if you want to add text onto the card itself, you would just have to go within this div because it would be within the card over here. So I'm going to say like H1 Glassmorphic and close that. No, H1 tag. I've been using so many divs that I'm like, it's throwing me off. Okay. So let's go in here and just style it really quickly. H1. So that means that we're also going to have to add a flex to the card itself so that I can position position the font. So I'm gonna say display flex. As I'm talking, I'm like writing out what I'm talking. So it keeps throwing me off with the typing. So display flex, justify. And there's so much typing because like with VS Code, it just kind of fills in everything for you. Align items, center. So that positioned it for us horizontally and vertically. And now I'm just going to change the color to white, and I'm going to change the font family to sans serif. So there we go. It looks a lot better. You can even make it a little bit transparent if you want. I think it was transparency or opacity. Let's see. Maybe it's opacity. I feel like it's opacity. Oh, transparency doesn't seem right. Opacity 0.5. Yeah, okay, wow. I guessed it right. 0.7. I feel like 0.7 is pretty good. And you can even like do like, you know, maybe add a shadow to it or something like that, make it look a little bit edged. Okay, so that is a Glassmorphic card. Now we are going to move on to, yeah, it's kind of tough. I feel like I like both of them. This looks like cotton candy. This one, I really like how it looks so 3D. We can even just copy what I did here, because here I was playing around with the colors for a while. I just don't want to take up your guys' time. Yeah, that's true. I can do that. Talking about what I'm going to do. Oh, it looks like I took out one of the backgrounds and just left it as this linear gradient instead. So let's take this out, see what that changes. Okay, I'm just going to open this up a little bit more so that it's easier to see. And I'm going to just take all of this out and paste it there. We have that same look that we had going over here, but I'm just going to switch it back. And leave it that way. Okay, so now let's move on to the Neumorphic card. So this one is like, it's really fun, Neumorphism, but it's very hard to see because it pretty much blends in with the background. So that's the point of Neumorphism, is that it will literally is that it has to be the same color as the background color. I keep getting calls. I have to like turn off my phone and put it away. So, and we can also change it where it looks like it's a pressed in button or not. And again, this is also, you can look up a generator for this, and you can play around with the shadows and everything. But especially if you have a gradient background, it's going to look a little bit different because it needs to match that. So with this gradient background, I just picked a color in the middle. So it looks like it's a little bit different from the left and the right where it's blue and pink. So let's go ahead and open up a new tab again. I'm not sure if this opened up a new one or if that just started me over. Okay, it did. Cool. Let's click on it. Let's do Neumorphic. I'm just going to say 2. It's interesting. Did I already click? Huh. Why did it say that I already have a Glassmorphic right here? That's really weird. Unless I did that earlier on accident. That's interesting. Okay, I'm just going to look at this really quickly. Why did it change? Okay, anyways. I'm just going to change this to Neumorphic. I can't do capital. I remember I did that last time, and it's case sensitive if you write it in CSS. So there's a lot of spelling mistakes. I mean, if I would remember that I did a capital. Yeah, neumorphism is definitely an interesting style. So we're going to do the same thing that we did there, is use that background, that same gradient background color. But first I'm going to say box sizing, border box. And we're going to go into the body and add a background color. Actually, let me just go back into there so that I know what it is. To show the final project. Oh, you're saying when there's new people coming every once in a while I should show? Yeah. So this is what we're building, and we are going to build Glassmorphic, Claymorphic, and Neumorphic. So we already built the Glassmorphic box. This was the one that I built yesterday. This is the one that we built today. And right now we're working on rebuilding the Neumorphic one, and then we're going to move on to Claymorphic. That's like the new, that's the new popular look right now, is this Claymorphism, as like like on the like the new UI UX designs. I noticed everyone's doing Claymorphic, like even Fred Meyer's or like Kroger's, here in America, like all their ads and stuff. So right now we're going to work on the Neumorphic one. Thank you for supporting me, guys. And I hope that this helps you too, that it's not just, you know, for me that you guys are over here. Okay, so I'm going to go back and get that gradient. So let's open up that website that I showed you guys, the cssgradient.io. I am going to copy it. This is the color I selected right here, this gradient, and I chose linear. So it automatically goes to radial, but I want the linear one. And like I mentioned earlier, you guys can change it to what you want, and you can change the gradient itself over here. I'm just selecting this one right now, and I am copying it. And I am going back into CodePen, and I am going to paste it in. Now we have it, and what we are doing next is creating the card itself. So I'm going to go in here and add the Neumorphic card, and I'm going to give it, let's give it the same width and height of the last one so that they're not all different. So let's go in here. What did we put for the, okay, width and height, 400 and 200. I don't want, these are already different from the ones that I made earlier. I don't remember exactly the height and width that I set. It's too much numbers to memorize. Okay, and for the card, for the background color, so what we're doing is going into this. I mentioned earlier that we're using generators, but I'm showing you guys also how these generators work and what they do. So for neumorphism, like I said, as you can tell by this website, like this is already like a neumorphic website. And screen's logging in, but sometimes just a screen share or not. Okay. Are you saying the screen is lagging? Oh, hey, Dennis. I just saw him pop up. That was interesting. So this whole website is a neumorphic website, and it's some guy that built it. It's open source. You guys can check it out. You can go on GitHub. So you can also change the light source direction over here. It's really, really cool. Like I would definitely recommend checking it out. And what you do, so what I did is we got that gradient color, and I'm gonna have to pick a color that's neutral in the gradient so that it matches the background over here. So let's go back into this gradient one over here. I'm going to add.
They start to distract.
You're
But
good.
if you want to, if I'm distracting you, let me know. But
Mhm.
just put the headphones in so you can actually hear me.
Oh, you're talking?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know if it'll lag. I don't know if it'll mess up the stream or not. So if it does too much, I'll just tune out.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I added this middle line over here, and I'm going to copy. So this is the one that we added right here. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go ahead and add it into the Neumorphic website over here. So here's the hex. I'm going to paste that, and it should load it. Oh, I forgot to put the hashtag. There we go. Okay, so now that we have this up, I'm going to change the direction of over here. And if you click on these, you can see that it looks like it's pressed in. So this will change the box shadow over here, and it added an inset. So inset negative. So that's what made it look popped in like that. This one added a linear gradient to it. This one also has a linear gradient. And this one is just a background color. So you can choose whichever one you want. Right now, I'm going to just select the regular one that looks like this base. To me, it looks like a Mac keyboard. Okay, so we're going to copy this. I'm not going to copy the border radius because we already have that in there. I put 10 pixels, I believe. Actually, no, I didn't add a border radius. Okay, I'm just going to copy this whole thing. And we're going to go back in to CodePen and paste it. And I don't want that border radius of 50 pixels. What kind of border radius did we add here? 10 pixels. That's what I thought. So let's go back and add 10 pixels. Then it's just leave. I'm using CodePen to build this. It's codepen.io. And that's how you can see exactly what you're building over here. So this is the Neumorphic box that we just created. And now I have to add the flex to it and like center it and everything, just like we did with the Glassmorphic one. So how we do that is we're going back into the body and we're saying display flex.
You're doing the Neumorphic right now, right?
Yeah, Neumorphic.
Okay.
And
I'll try to watch the chat a little bit, but I feel like every time I join, it lags a little bit. If anyone notices that, let me know and I'll hop off.
Okay. Yeah, I am taking over the channel. It's gonna be my channel now. And align items, because now we want to center it down here vertically. Align items center. Oh, we didn't add a height to it, that's why. Height 100 viewport height. So now it's centered. So this is literally it. This is what you do. So like I said, you just have to, if you want to create a Neumorphic box, then you just have to make sure that it blends in with your background. So like I said, I went over to where I got the gradient and I dropped in another color right here, like another thing so that I can see what the hex code is. And because if you chose pink or blue, then it would kind of be thrown off. So I'll show you guys right now if we do that. What the difference is. I just grabbed the blue hex, and if we add it in here, it just doesn't look Neumorphic anymore. It just looks like a box that's like kind of hovering over. So if you just stick to whatever, you might have to play around with it for a little bit and see what works best. And then we can also, let's show you guys what it looks like if you grab, like if it looks like it's a pressed in button. So I'm just going to take the box shadow part and nothing else because we already have the rest of it in. And I'm just going to replace that. And now it looks like it's pressed in, but it doesn't look as good as it does the other way. So I think using a gradient isn't the best option. It just worked better this way because of the box shadow around it. So now we are going to move on to the Claymorphic design.
Hey, can I ask you something? So you just inverted that. This is Neumorphic. Is Claymorphic inverted, or is that just Neumorphic in two different formats?
Claymorphic has a shadow on the inside, but it looks like it's bubbling out. So the shadow is pretty much on the rest of the box, and I'll show you guys how, like, what that looks like. I mean, why it looks like that in general. So let's go back and start. So this is the Claymorphic one that we will be building. This is what I made yesterday. So I added, yesterday I was thinking about it, like if I should add a button or not. I decided to because you can tell even more that it's looks like clay. So it's this part right here. So it's this shadow that goes all the way around the edges of the border, basically. That makes it look like it's, like wrapped around it. And the same over here. It looks like a 3D button. And it actually looks pretty 90s to me, but the style is, I guess, like coming back. And like I said, it looks very clay-like. So let's go ahead and start creating that. So I'm going to go. So if anyone's new here, again, we are making... thank you. We are making these boxes. So we're making Glassmorphic, Neumorphic, and Claymorphic. We have already built Glassmorphic and Neumorphic, and I explained how those look. And now we are working on the Claymorphic one. This is like the new trendy look, as I mentioned. And okay, so let's go ahead and get started with that. It is pretty simple as well, and we are going to use a generator for that also. I'm going to get rid of the JavaScript. It's taking up space, so I'm going to hit Shift and exclamation point. And Dennis told me not to do this, but I don't have this memorized. It's too much work. In Napoleon,
what are you supposed to do? Oh, you're talking about the autofills?
Yeah.
You see Napoleon, by the way, Sulamita?
Yeah, I see him.
I try to catch him as quietly as possible. He kept running around the kitchen.
That's funny. I didn't hear him. A rabbit. Okay, I'm gonna say.
Hey, where's everyone from? While Sulamita's typing, Sulamita, if you need to explain something, go ahead and interrupt me. But where's everyone in the chat from? I'd love to say hi to everyone. I'll put your comment here. Here, I'll let the polling on the table here. Everybody.
I'm gonna name it Claymorphic 2 since I already have the first one.
Oh, he's gonna be pissed at me.
He already looks mad. Okay, we're saving it. And I'm gonna add the asterisks and add the box sizing border.
Decatur, GA. Where's that from?
Decatur, Georgia. Decatur,
yeah, Georgia. I know it's Georgia, but Decatur, I've never heard of that. Yeah, Sulamita's going to take over my channel. She's actually helping me out while I'm working on some React stuff. I recently went into a little rabbit hole, no pun intended, with this rabbit here. But I'm doing a bunch of React stuff, Next.js, Fast API, and Flask. I'm trying to expand my horizons. Oh, Bakari, I didn't realize the name. That's my coworker at Agora. I didn't even catch that. Nairobi, Kenya, India, usual, yeah. Denmark. Just raise your hand, Sulamita, and I'll know to shut up.
Yeah, so again, if there's new people, I just went over to that gradient generator, and I'm going to add it again like we did last time, so that we have this. And now I'm going to start building out the card. So I'm going to select the Claymorphic card, make sure it's all spelled correctly so that we get it right. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you were here yesterday.
Silicon Valley of India. I didn't know that.
Claymorphic card. I didn't know that either. That's really cool. So I'm trying to remember the width again and what we set, 400 by 200, okay? Width, 400 pixels. Height, 200 pixels. And now we are going to, I'm going to show you guys the Claymorphic website over here. This is it. So it's a little bit different than the other ones. So as you can see, the box shadow is a lot more intricate than the other cards. So it's a lot more detailed, and I think it's because of this whole thing that it extends so far in, and not the box shadow is inside of the card itself, not on the outside, and that's what makes it so bubbly looking. So here, if you want to select the opacity one, this targets this box right here in this one. So, oh, I guess it shows you on all of them. So you can make it more clear if you wanted to look, more like a Glassmorphic, Claymorphic look. Cool. Yeah, and then the roundness. So what I noticed with Claymorphism is that none of them are square. They're almost always rounded, so that it actually looks like, real clay that you're making something out of, and then the depth, the amount of depth that you want. So this will add more of a shadow inside of it, way more bubbly looking, or a lot less. So I'm going to add it like this probably. Let's do depth of 9. And background blur, that's if you have a transparent, but we don't, so it doesn't matter. So this will show you the background blur. So we're just going to put that to 0. I won't even copy that. So this is the backdrop filter blur. We don't need that. I'm going to leave it out. And let's add that pink. Well, actually, no, because we're going to have it white. But you do need a shadow with it. So because we have that pink background. So I'm going to go back into here and go into our Neumorphic card and select the background color that we had over here. So this is the background color that we selected. I'm just going to copy from this.
Hey, Sulamita, I have a question for you. So, Geekito is asking if you know any big websites. You mentioned Kroger uses this, right? Any other?
For Claymorphic, yeah. For Claymorphic, I've seen a lot of
I'm gonna look it up.
like Fred Meyers and Kroger. Like I always see their billboards over here, and they do a lot of Claymorphic ads. Neumorphism, I haven't really seen much. I only see that on Pinterest with like UI UX designs, but I don't think anybody really uses it because it's very hard to see and it wouldn't be helpful on a lot of people who have like vision problems. And then the Glassmorphic, I've been seeing it a little bit. Nothing comes to mind right away, like with Claymorphic. I feel like Claymorphism has really like taken, a lot to the streets, I guess, with the design.
It just looks cute, but I can see how people would have an issue with it. Like at the end of the day, I have pretty good eyes. Like my vision's good, except for when it comes to a screen, I have a hard time like telling contrast. And Gary Simon would turn in his grave when he dies if he saw that actually being used.
The Claymorphism?
No, Neumorphic. The one that indents. Which one was that again?
That's that's Neumorphism. Yeah, I like Neumorphism the most, but because it's just really satisfying. But yeah, you have to. It has to be done right, otherwise, it just doesn't look good.
I like Glassmorphism for sure. Even though I don't know if I would use it, but it just looks really cool.
It's fun for like more modern, I guess, websites.
For about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is going to go out of date very fast. I mean, there's always new styles that come out. You definitely want to try keeping things classic, but yeah. So as you can see, it already looks super clay-like. So again, it's definitely the border radius that makes it that way, and the box shadow. Like I said, the box shadow has a lot of information in it. And oh, you just went to Kroger's in Atlanta? Yeah, over here on the West Coast, they're called Fred Meyers, or probably actually just Washington and Oregon.
Isn't it still Kroger's? It's just under the branch. It's like Walmart and Sam's Club, no?
Yeah. Kroger's owns. I mean, it's called. Yeah, the main one is called Kroger's. Yeah.
By the way, whoever else is in here, I know we have more people than they said hi, but say hi and let us know where you're from. I'll pull up your comment when I engage a little bit more here.
Yeah, this one for sure. I agree that that's what I said. Claymorphism definitely looks very early 2000s buttons, like especially the buttons themselves. And then Neumorphic is definitely very Apple-like for sure. How do I? Whoops! I just made a full screen on my computer now. I'm like lost. Anyways, okay, so now we're going to center it like we did earlier with the other boxes. So I'm going to go back into body, and as usual, we're going to do display flex, and we're going to say justify content center, and we have to add a height if we want to align the items. So I'm going to say height 100 viewport. Wow, height, and then we're going to say align items center. Okay, so this is essentially a Claymorphic box. We're basically done, but I will add a button just so that you guys can see how it will look with the color. So instead of just like a white one, and because we added the this color over here, no, not the background color, because we added the purple color, you see that it has like a slight purple shadow. So you don't always have to do that, but I noticed that it definitely makes it just look more fun. It makes it look like it's reflecting off of it and that it's actually there, because in real life, whatever colors you next to kind of reflect off of you. Okay, so we're going to add another button, and we're going to add it within the card. So we have to go into this div, make sure that it's within the opening and closing tags, and we are going to add a button. So I'm going to say div class button. Nice.
I want to check out New Hampshire, by the way. I hear so many good things about it. I want to check it out specifically in the winter. Like, it just looks amazing. See Josh here in the chat. Oh, this one just fluffs my ego here. Sorry, Sulamita, to take away from your moment.
You're good. It's your channel.
And you know what? I accidentally just tweeted the StreamYards link. I hope nobody saw that because, oh, shoot, I did.
Does that mean anyone's? Oh shoot! People are joining.
Okay, I have to laugh here. I accidentally tweeted this. Is it Priyank, if you I'll give you a minute on the stream. So I accidentally tweeted the streamer's link to send people invites. I
That
meant
is
to
so
tweet
funny.
the YouTube link.
People are gonna start teaching on here more than me.
I mean, at least I have the permission to add him or not.
Yeah,
Priyank,
that's
if you
true.
want to, go ahead and say hi. Turn on your mic. That's too funny.
That's hilarious.
I'll give him a
That's
minute.
awesome.
Sorry, I'm totally distracting your teaching here.
No, that's good. Thank you. I'm waiting for him to say something.
Nah, I think he's just joining just to test things out.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's awesome. Okay, so let's select the button and let's show you guys where it is, because right now you don't see the button. You just see the text within the button. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad you guys are learning something that it's not like I'm just, showing you guys things you already know about. Okay, so we selected the button and it's within the Claymorphic card. You can see the text within it, but let's add a height and width to it so that you can see it, and then a background color. So I'm going to add a height, let's say like 100 pixels. Is 100 too much? Is it the same as what we're doing here? Yeah, it's a little bit too much. Let's maybe say like 50 and a width of like 80 and background color red, just so you guys can see it right now. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it for now, but let's move it around first. So if we want to move it around, we have to add a display of flex. We have to display a flex to the card itself so that we can move the content within it. So I'm going to add display flex to the card, and we are going to say justify content center, and then align items center. So now it's all the way in the middle, and let's see if we can do text align center in the button, or if we have to do it to the actual
Hold on, you're centering the button?
text. I already did. I'm trying to center the text within the button.
Oh, yeah.
Might actually have to.
You could. Are you trying to do height and width center, right? So
So display flex to the button too.
Why wouldn't you just do padding for the button?
Yeah, I can do that. I'm just gonna leave it out for now. I'm gonna style it first.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Do your thing. I don't want to interrupt, but for the button, if you do height and width, then you're gonna have to display it as a block element and then try to center the text using like justify content, or I guess flex, and then do justify content and align items.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to, let me open it up over here and show you guys what we're working on. So we're working on this Claymorphic box over here. So right now we're working on this button over here. Let me get the color that I had here so that I'm not wasting more of your guys' time. So the button itself, that's the card. Okay, the button itself, we use this pinkish color. So let's add it, and then we are going to, so let me add the border radius, and even with the border radius, it obviously still won't look claymorphic. And like I mentioned earlier, it's for claymorphism, it's all about the shadows within the shape itself. Wow, that's late. It's like early for us over here. Let's do like 20 pixels. Maybe 15 pixels. 20 seems like a little bit too much. And I'm going to change the width of this to 100. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that for now. Oh, I forgot to add a closing tag there. I'm going to say text align center.
So Priyank was actually, this is the person that was in our in our stream. That's hilarious. I just saw his private chat. I didn't see that before.
That's funny.
So we had a few people here. We had Haley from Pennsylvania, and Samson from Ethiopia. I don't know why I actually love that name, Samson. And then Haley's saying she's watching this after LOL day. LOL as in born, I'm assuming, right? Yeah, I actually do that a lot. I'll code and I'll just turn on like a George Hotz stream. Like he posts a lot of his stuff after. And it's kind of interesting because you're not like watching it. Like I know some people do watch this and code along, like if you're into what's being built, but I love to just listen to the streams as I'm coding. He's definitely my inspiration for a lot of stuff.
So I just copied the color that I set for the button, and I'm going to paste it in here into the Claymorphic generator. And we are going to now make that box shadow. So again, background blur 0, depth, we can change that up. I'm going to go all the way to 12 and see if it makes it look better. But because the button is so small, it might look funny. So let's see what happens there. So I'm just going to copy the box shadow part. And let's go over to CodePen and add it in here. So now it looks very Claymorphic. Now let's play around with the actual text itself. So let's go into the H2 tag, and I'm going to say color white, font, family, sans serif. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting hungry, Dennis.
I'll go get dinner, or I guess lunch. Yeah, it's still
lunchtime. Let's see if the
Tito from Russia here.
Nice. 15 pixels. I wonder why padding isn't working. That's so weird.
What are you trying to?
Yesterday when I was working on it, it was stuck to the top, and I added padding to the top, and it moved it down where I wanted.
A text element can't have padding, I believe, if that's my understanding. I see Sharir is in here. So Sharir, let us know. But a text element, I believe, is a text element. It doesn't act like a block. So you might have to display it as a block first.
Yeah, see, I did it here.
Did you?
Yeah, and it worked.
You may have added padding like to all the children. Text align center.
Let me delete it and see what happens. Yeah, see, it moved it.
Okay, just go ahead and try doing the next one as a block element, though. Just give it a shot. Maybe Shuvo knows.
I'm going to make the button bigger, actually. Seems a little bit.
You could use flex. Someone's saying you can use
flex.
Flex.
That's what I was thinking.
But not for a button. It seems like excessive to use flex. I mean, I'd rather just do padding. Try it displaying it as a block element, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, not the H2. You're right. You're talking about the button.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like you're doing that to the wrong element. Is that what kind of element is that? Is that a button element or a div?
I just did a div.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, padding should work. So you have a height of 70 pixels.
Well, look, now it's actually, it worked.
And no one will know why.
Yeah.
I guess if I was hold
on. Is it because I did display block? Let me delete that.
Well, no, if you do that to a div, it'll work fine. I thought you were trying to do that to the H2 element.
Well, yeah, the display block didn't do anything. Well, I just realized because I think I added more height and width, and it somehow centered it. I don't know. That's really weird.
So we'll have to do this. We'll have to add in some links for all the stuff here.
Yeah, I added them already into the chat. You probably don't see them now, but yeah, and they will be added after the stream is over. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I'm excited actually to see what the new style is going to be. So this is Claymorphic. We have just finished building this one. So I don't know if anyone followed along. If you guys did, that would be awesome to see. But
if people do build it, they'll probably build it after, not during the stream. So
yeah,
if you want to tell them where to send their designs, maybe you can take a look at them.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, you can. I will post it on Twitter, and you guys can add that in there. Add it into the comments. My Twitter, I have it open.
It's linked up in the description. And so it is. SSZZ. Yeah, a div element is a block element. I thought she was adding that to the H2 element. That's why That's why I mentioned that, but it looks like I was thrown off by which item.
Yeah.
By the way, Sulamita, do you hear Napoleon? He keeps running around.
No, I don't hear him.
You don't hear him? Keep hearing his nails on the hardwood floor.
Yeah, so guys, so we just made the Glassmorphic, Neumorphic, and Claymorphic. And I didn't put the text into the Neumorphic one, but you guys can
Is
go
this
ahead
code
and
pen
see
linked
those.
up?
Not right now, no.
You should link
But
this
yeah,
up
I'll
too.
add it. Yeah, I'll add everything, all the generators that we use. So that's the nice thing nowadays is that there's generators. You don't have to sit there and try to figure out all the math to all the box shadows and all that stuff in the perfect colors. But I feel like that saves you a lot of time. But then when I use the generators, then I'll go in and start customizing them myself.
I'm literally trying to
send
catch
your
up when he's
design?
running away.
Did you just Shivo,
Sorry, go
did you make that while following this? Because I want to see it.
We're reviewing Shivo's design. Oh boy. Do it, Shivo. Send it over. Send it on
I
Discord.
know it's going to be way better than mine because you already know how to use everything.
Are you done with the coding part, Sulamita, right?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So you just made those three, right?
Yeah.
Neumorphic actually looks pretty cool here.
It does.
Yeah,
like
Shivo,
I said,
send
it
it
looks...
send it on Discord. Sulamita, you should be able to open up my Discord and open it from that computer.
Okay. But yeah, Neumorphic definitely looks like an Apple designs like on the computer and everything. The keyboards especially. Yeah, I have the Discord open, Shivo, if you want to add it in. And I'll share it. Did you do it on CodePen, or are you going to have to like quickly make it live somehow?
So while we're waiting, everybody in the chat, I guess now that Sulamita's not coding and I'm not interrupting her, say hi. Let me know where you're from. I want to get to know people. I want to keep opening up these comments here.
I'm going to show you guys too the Kroger ads that I was talking about.
Oh yeah, pull those up.
Yeah, so these are the ones that are around everywhere right now. So this is what I mean. Like their ads everywhere that I've been seeing, like billboards, like on their shopping carts, all that kind of stuff.
People are Neumorphic.
Yeah, there's their little. Well, yeah, it's like the advertising of like all that stuff. Like even if it's not buttons, I know that there's a lot of ads right now where they're making Claymorphic.
It reminds me of that cartoon. Cool. Where was it? Not Wall-E. It's like that one guy that goes to the moon and it's like a dog and a guy or something like that. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. Oh, Shivo says he doesn't have it built yet. He just.
Oh, gotcha.
Shivo, we're gonna be very harsh critics. So.
Here's an example of Neumorphic. So you can do it right. Like in here, it's easier to see, but a lot of people, if they have like visual problems with like colors or something like that, then Robot Chicken. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Or
what's
a lot
of Chicken? Oh, that's the movie?
No, well, I don't know if that's the exact one he's talking about, but there's also that one anyways, yeah, it's like a whole thing where
yeah, it's not the one that I was referring to, but
there's the one with like a chicken on a farm is trying to escape or something like that. Is that the Robot Chicken? But anyways, so here's some examples of Neumorphic. It looks really, really cool if you do it correctly again. Like I said, you have to make sure that the button stands out enough. Like that looks like a real
this actually looks really
cool. Yeah, it looks really awesome. Like this is obviously hard to see, but that's what makes it look cool, I guess, is that because it's hard
you can't see it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's all these really, really fun designs. Again, I don't know if any website actually or any company actually uses this. I don't know if this is just UI, UX designers making this, but nobody's buying these designs. I don't know. I guess if you know of anyone that actually uses it, that'd be cool. Besides, I guess, like I said, like this one's interesting. It straight up looks like 3D, and that's what's really cool about it. Like this is it's pretty hard to tell. It's kind of hard on the eyes, but it looks really cool. This one's easier on the eyes. I feel like this is easier to tell that they look like 3D buttons. Brutalism. What is that?
I think he was saying that we're gonna be brutal with his design. He likes that we're gonna be, yeah.
That's funny. Is that a design style? The most difficult thing to do is implement this design into your design template. Yeah, definitely. I saw someone say, Neumorphism was followed by Windows 98. It's in its pop-up box. Really? Oh, version of today's Neumorphism, but it's still. Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, then nowadays the designs and styles are a lot better.
So you ready to? Are you still want to do more Sulamita, or you think we should end the stream?
Yeah, I think we're done. And this is what brutalism design is. I'm guessing it's like it looks very much like graphic design, like like what's it called? Like what do you think? You're thinking something else, aren't you?
No, because I'm laughing when Shuvo commented that. It's like, because I thought he meant like we're gonna be brutal, and he's like,
yeah. He loves when people are harsh critics.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I knew there was a design style, and it looks like when people would do, you know, like when they make little albums and they do cutouts of things. What is that called? When it's like an art thing, like a.
You're talking about when those psychopaths cut out letters and stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that's an interesting style. But I guess how would you, I mean, this doesn't, I guess, really pertain to buttons or boxes. This is more of a design style in general. Like,
yeah,
it's very different. It reminds me of like, scrapbooking. Exactly. Thank you. I was like, what is the word? I don't know if people do scrapbooking now anymore. It seems like a thing that we did like a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's us 90s kids or early 2000s
this
kids.
Definitely gives me like a punk rock vibe. Like, I think that's what brutalism kind of is. It looks like like something you're seeing in dive bar wall or something like that, or a bathroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely fun. Like, I know a lot of companies definitely use that style.
How do you say this name? Sreyas? Maybe I got that right. Probably go down in the World Book of Records for the worst pronunciation of names. I think my issue is that I read something and I assume what it's going to say as opposed to like reading each letter.
Yeah. You like, yeah.
Your brain like fills in the blanks, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is going to be posted after too. We won't cut it. We'll leave this. I guess I like to leave my streams raw, I guess, so that way you see everything. But cool. Yeah, so I'll let you sign off then. I don't want to hijack your stream.
Good.
Oh, real quick. So yeah, I guess we got one more in the chat. Yeah, I'm from Russia. Sulamita is actually from Moscow. I'm from Kyiv. So I'm Russian, Ukrainian. Sulamita is full Russian. So I think I'm like 70-30. Because my mom's Ukrainian. Yeah, somewhere from India. Yeah, I just want to say hi to a few more people, Sulamita.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Cool. All right, let you sign off.
Awesome. Okay, bye, guys. Now I see more questions.